Welcome back to another Star vs. the Forces of Evil review. Today we are continuing our rush through Season 2, skipping which few fillery episodes still exist. In our quest to get to the battle for Muni as quickly as possible, today we are reviewing Season 2 Episode 16A, Running with Scissors, which was such an odd title for this episode. I assumed it was going to have something to do with the dimensional scissors, but in fact it was about this weird QB Tinkerbell hybrid thing being sent to evaluate the state of Star's magical training. It was called Baby. It was this weird little fairy creature. It liked to eat food. It did it in a big swirly tornado smoke effect that was honestly really cool. But it just makes the title of the episode so puzzling, and obviously I'm kidding. The list that I was working off of, a list which I did make myself, so I am in fact the only person to blame in this situation, had the episode Baby and the episode Running with Scissors switched. I know that got a lot of you guys worried that I was going to be skipping the episode Baby. I never intended to skip the episode Baby. I just had the orders of the episodes reversed. Sorry for the confusion. I'm really looking forward to going down in the comments and seeing how many people commented that I got the title of the episode wrong before they made it to this point in the video. Anyway, the plot of the episode, Baby, is that now that Star is without the spellbook, her parents are wondering if they should bring her back to Muni. Her mom is for it, her dad is against it, so they decide to send a creature called Baby, which is a little cat fairy thing played by the best actor in The Big Bang Theory, to perform a magical evaluation on her, an evaluation which seems to be commonplace for the heirs to the throne, the bearers of the wand. The way that Star reacts to knowing that this evaluation is coming is very telling of the fact that she was expecting it to happen at some point. So she's hiding the mess in her room, she's hiding the weird creatures that she randomly creates sometimes, anywhere from inside her secret closet to magic portals that she conjures out of nothing. It's a very funny, frantic scene. Marco, in the meantime, is making food for Baby because Baby likes to eat. And she shows up and she's seeing the evidence of Star's frantic attempts to hide stuff, and she finds it all very interesting. Star takes that as the evaluation going well, and at this point, I'm not really sure if it was or not, but it does lead Baby into giving Star a new specific task, to bring her an apple. But she has to bring it over using magic. And the kinds of spells that Star knows, the kinds of spells that she's focused on, combat spells, are not suited to that kind of thing. And this leads to one of the funniest sequences in the entire show so far. It was just a bunch of visual gags. It was absolutely hysterical. It had me laughing out loud. But it ends with Star failing the evaluation as she was unable to perform this very simple magical task. But Star, not wanting to go home yet, is able to tap into her magical potential again. She does the whole glowy thing that she does sometimes. And she is able to perform what is one of the most interesting and, I would say, impressive magical feats in the show so far. And it impresses Baby enough that she passes Star instead. And we end with a little scene that I was very happy was included in this episode, back at the palace with Star's parents, where Baby is explaining to them that while Star doesn't know basic magic yet, she has huge amounts of magical potential, as much as Queen Eclipsa, who is this character who's been being built up in the background. And honestly, I knew this was coming. I knew there was going to be some reveal that Star is in some way the heir to Eclipse's magical potential or something like that. We keep seeing this character in the background. We keep getting little snippets hinting that this is someone who created their own magic, was so gifted at magic that their power is now feared and revered. And we've even seen little snippets of Star exploring this person's magic and even using it with relative ease. Glossric, before he was taken away, seemed very interested in Star's use of this magic. And now Star is creating her own magic, just like this Queen Eclipsa apparently did as well. It's interesting, though, because we also get confirmation in this scene that Eclipse's magical potential is seemingly much higher than Star's mother's, which is not really something I expected to happen, honestly. It was honestly really neat, and the reason I'm so glad that they included it in this episode is actually because of another show, Steven Universe. I review it a lot on this channel. Maybe you've seen some of my reviews of it. That scene could never happen in a show like Steven Universe, because Steven Universe sticks so strictly to its single character perspective format. Star vs. the Forces of Evil is a very similar show. The perspective of this show is primarily from Star's perspective and Marco's perspective. And yet, it has no problem taking detours from that and giving us episodes from Ludo's perspective, or Buff Frog's perspective, or scenes like the bookends of this episode that were from the perspective of Star's parents. Honestly, with all the lore and the intrigue building up in the background of Star at this point, I'm starting to feel more and more like the comparisons between Star and Steven Universe are actually more apt than I originally thought they would end up being back in Season 1. And this is an example of something that I just find that Steven Universe doesn't do as well. Just a little bit of a rant there. Sorry to hijack this review for that. All that said, though, I really liked this episode. It mainly only served to confirm some things that I felt like were kind of being hinted at already. That Star has huge untapped potential. That Star hasn't really been focusing properly on her spells. But that Star is also taking responsibility and growing as a person. All of that was reaffirmed in this episode. I don't really know that this episode needed to exist for those reasons, because I feel like we could have gotten confirmation of those things elsewhere as the series progressed. But it was nice to hear them actually said. I guess it's good that her parents know, that her parents at least have some idea of what she's been up to now. And it was a very pleasant episode to watch. It was very fun. It was very funny. It had some of the strongest sight gags in the entire series, and I really appreciate it for that. I also find the character of Baby to be super intriguing and hope we get to see her again. All of that said, though, guys, what did you think of Baby, if you have seen it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or maybe even over on my Discord. Link in the description. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later.